guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a hair tutorial. I have so many hair tutorials that I want to pump out for you guys, but first of all, I did a video on short hair waves maybe 3 years ago. It's been honestly a minute. I really wanted to do an updated hair tutorial on how I get loose waves in my hair. Just a bit of a disclaimer, I do have a couple of like tapes sort of in here just to give that little bit of extra thickness and volume. I haven't done anything to my hair. All I have done is jumped out of the shower this morning and popped on my makeup. So this is pretty much my bed hair really, which doesn't look too bad. I am going to be doing it how I would normally. The last video that I did was more of a formal curled hairstyle, something that you would do more for a wedding or an occasion. I still do my hair similar like that for occasions, but I do have a couple more updated videos that I want to do for you guys. But today this is going to be a everyday wave that I'm going to be using with my straightener. I get a lot of questions in regards to how I create my look and what I do and what products I use. So I thought I would show you how I create my loose waves. So first of all, I'm going to run through a list of things that you're going to need. I did this the last time and I found that it was really good because then I didn't have to stop and explain what products that I was using. So first of all, I wanted to share, this is my Cloud9 straightener. I really like this one. My GHD actually died maybe back in the beginning of January. I am so pleased that I got the Cloud9 because it has a controlled heat setting, which I love. Following from using a hair straightener, I always apply a heat protector. This is just the Tresemme. I have been using this honestly for the longest time. It's super affordable, it does the job and it works well. So I'm pretty happy with this and I'm happy to recommend this one to you also. Any hairspray with a medium hold will do fine. This one that I have been using is my Fudge. This is in the Skyscraper and it is a medium hold. I really like this one because it actually does do a medium hold, and if you really want to, you can brush out the curls as well while this spray is in it. Then to finish off the look, I always use an oil. This is my Moroccan oil. I love this one. My hair is obsessed with it and it really works well for me. I don't know how well it would be good if you had on the finer hair side, but for girls who have really thick, coarse hair like I do, this is a great product and I love it. Okay, so now that I've brushed all my hair out, this product is optional, but I do typically always curl my hair when it is a little bit more on the dirtier side. Like I'm due to probably wash this in another 2 days or so. I always use a dry shampoo because I find even if the roots are a little bit oilier, it's okay. I find when my hair is too clean and I curl my hair, it never really holds as well. Sometimes I'll just go in and I will just ever so really lightly pop that through, and it also helps refresh that blonde as well, depending on what sort of curl that you prefer. So what I usually do is I will start from the top and work my way underneath. I just find I don't like it when my hair is too wavy underneath. This is just the way that I like to do it and I find looks the most natural on me. I usually keep my heat on just under 200. I find that that's enough just to sort of give that little bit of a heat. Also, I'm leaving about a couple of inches from the root and I'm just really going to curl till about there. So I'm going to leave those ends out also. Sliding my straightener in, I'm going to be curling away from my face and just kind of like slipping this through. And like I said, I'm going to leave about 2 inches from the bottom out. So it should look a little something like that. Very curly still at the moment, but I find that you can get a lot more controlled when I do the top section first. So I'm just going to go back and do my next section. And again, I'm going to just maybe do roughly about 2 twists. Also again, leaving out about 2 or 3 inches from the bottom. So realistically, it should look a little bit something like that. I wouldn't worry too much about the underneath for now. Just really mainly focus on that top layer. Again, I kind of like them to go all the same way. I don't know, I'm just not really fussed. The top section, I'd like it to be pretty symmetrical. Again, just winding twice and leaving that bit at the bottom. So you've really just got this whole section right here where you have left. So then just keep going around. I always do one side first and then I go to the other. So essentially you're really doing the same thing pretty much all the way around. And so as you can see, you've got those ends there. This is going to give you that little bit more texture and a little bit more of that natural sort of look. I'll just kind of split my hair down the middle and I'll just keep going around until I get it. Sometimes like I'll go under when I get to the back just so that it doesn't have that lip. But again, if I'm going under, I'll do a spin and leave out the bottom. Still slide that hair through once you have left it on for the desired amount of time, but I wouldn't leave it on too long. Okay, so now that you have one side all curled, it should look a little bit something like this. Once I have done that, I'm just gonna let that cool for a minute and I'm gonna jump over to the other side. Again, taking that first section of hair, this time, obviously the way that we're gonna wind our curler, it's gonna have to go underneath, like so. So again, we're just gonna do pretty much the same thing as what we've done on this side, but I'm gonna go under and just work my way all the way across until we hit this back area. Again, just leaving out quite a little bit of hair there and just spinning until we get to about 2 inches down. And then just go through and just do that top layer. So now both sides are pretty much exactly the same. We will not touch those. Let them cool down. Let them get cold. You really want to not touch the hair when it is still warm from the straight. I will start to go through my sections where the hair that has been left out. I'll weed out those hairs and I will pick and choose which way I want those ones to go. This one obviously is going to be super visible, so I'm going to do this one back again. So as you can see, that one's there. Then I will kind of weed out this one here. So as you can see, all the hair is getting curled, but instead of like curling it like Curly Sue from section to section all the way up, you're really just doing what you can see, which I find is the best trick, and I find what works for me and doesn't make me feel so Curly Sue. Instead of doing this one underneath, I'm going to do this one an opposite direction and just leave again a little bit of that hair out, just so that we're not going all too much of the same way. Obviously it does get a little bit trickier when you are getting to this back section, but again, we can just pick up random bits of hair. Obviously if there is higher sections, I will go in and do them underneath so that way it's out of the way. But I always like to have just this little bit of hair kind of dangling down, because once I make it straight, it doesn't make it feel so done, if that makes sense. I'll grab just one little bit of this area here. I just honestly, I just go with what I can feel and what I can see, and how obviously, as you guys would know, some curling days aren't as good as others. So if I feel like maybe this is still a little bit too long, I'll just go in and just do just one kink just there. Really mainly focused on that top half there, and really if you kind of pull this away, this is all just lightly kinked. If you went in under there and curled it, that's when it just gets really big and really puffy, and I'm just not really into that sort of look. So this is the way that I do it all the time when I go out. So again, we're gonna go in on this side, and I'm going to let you see how I just randomly pick up pieces that I can see and do the same again, taking note of what is visible and what is not. So obviously I wouldn't do right to the root there, because these curls are covering it. And you have very big hair like myself, you wanna find tricks like this. The poodle life, you know what I mean? I just hate my hair looking like a poodle. They're a little bit shorter, so it makes it hard. So I'm just gonna do a one loop rather than a 2 and just leave it for a couple of seconds, just so that it mainly doesn't look out of place in those spots. And the same again, so we'll move those out of the way. And then the same again here where it's a little bit shorter. Like I said, just a 1 looper. Always leaving out those ends, because that's what's gonna make it look a whole lot natural. And when I do my clients, they love how I do that. So, and then just 1. Now that I've done that, I'm just gonna let that cool for a second. And as you guys can see, without me doing anything so far, it is a lot flatter at the roots here, which is what I love. And it's just fuller in the midsection and a bit straighter on those ends. Okay, so now that that hair's cooled down, I've waited about a minute or 2. I'm gonna grab my Moroccan oil. I'm just gonna give myself maybe half a pump because this stuff is very potent. Just gonna rub this through my hands, and I am going to go in from underneath and just give it a shake and just start to really separate all those waves and just really work that through. You don't have to be scared to get in there. It's not gonna do anything because your hair's already cooled down and set from leaving it for that moment. Not everyone likes it to be so flat on the roots there, but you know what? I do. Okay, so now that that is in, before we put any spray or anything, I'm pretty happy with the way that that is sitting. Like, obviously I'm gonna manipulate it a little bit more. This is like my biggest trick ever. Going back in with my straightener, I'm just gonna grab some of those ends and just where I have left that 2 inches out, I'm gonna grab random sections and just straighten those ends. So it should look a little bit like this. This is what's going to make it look that 1 step closer to looking disheveled and very natural. I don't do it to every single section, but just more the ones that I think need it, like this one here. Anything that looks too curled. I just feel like it just gives it that such a nicer, more controlled look about it. Again, I'm going to go in and just take a little bit more of that Moroccan oil, so another half a pump, and just really mainly focusing it on those ends. And this is just really going to make it that real textured look. Then if you are wanting to go that 1 step further, especially if you have finer hair, that's when I would go in with my dry shampoo and just kind of pick up random bits and just spray them. Like, this is an optional step. Once you're pretty happy with the way that it's sitting, I just usually like spray it and still manipulate it with my hands. Final spray just to sort of lock that all in. Okay guys, and this is how I get my short haired wave with the straightener. I hope you guys learned 1 or 2 things that you can implement into your curling straightening routine, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really honestly hope it was helpful. I know how popular my other hair videos are, so I have a few more ideas on some hair tutorials that you guys might like, so stay tuned for those. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed to my online family, please make sure you do. All my social media links, including Instagram, are down below. I post a lot of outfit of the days on Instagram, so if that's something that you really enjoy to see, jump over there and show me some love. But until next time, I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.